Hey guys, Tisha here, and we are back for another Becoming Sister Wives book review. We are going to be focused on the family again. This is Robin's chapter. Cheers! Y'all, brace yourself. I'm acting like this is something. This is Simply Lemonade non-alcoholic guava and strawberry mojito. Chef's kiss. It makes you feel like you are drinking an alcoholic beverage, number one. Number two, I'm not really big on sweet drinks. So it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. I don't have to add water to it to enjoy it. But let's go ahead and get started on the chapter that is Robin. Since I'm a relative newcomer to the Brown family, I do not share as much collective history as the rest of my sister wives do. I've never lived under the same roof with any of them, so I've been spared a lot of the conflicts and growing pains that my sister wives went through as they figured out how to raise their children together and integrate their lives with one another. Let's be clear. In that statement, as early as 2013, when this book was written, Robin said that she didn't go through the conflicts and the growing pains that her sister wives went through. Is this not the same woman who told us that the family basically lied to her and sold her this dream, and she thought they were this great unit, when here she's admitting to knowing that they had issues? See, I believe Cody was really honest with Robin. He might have lied to some of the other wives and kept certain things hidden, but I think that he was honest with Robin, and she knew exactly what she was getting herself into. Although I lived in my own house when I married Cody, I still became part of the Brown family in every way. She became part of the family in every way, even though she told us it was very hard for her and her kids. Okay, let me get back to it. I helped out with all the kids and contributed my paycheck to the family to help pay all the bills. What paycheck? When Robin first came into the family, Robin had no paycheck. Remember, she told us she was struggling to find a job. Janelle reminded us that neither Robin nor Christine, and then eventually Mary, was working, that it was just her and Cody. So what paycheck did she contribute? Interesting. This living was new for me. As a single working mom, it was usually up to me to make things work financially. Money was tight, but knowing that we had one another's back was wonderful. Since moving to Nevada, things have changed a lot for us and made us more of a team. They became more of a team in Nevada, but I thought that the other wives said that things were harder for them with that move, especially when they weren't living near each other. So how did they become more of a team? We all had to contribute to the expenses to relocate our family, which was difficult for each of us. How did she contribute? She told us that she used her money that she had from her taxes, as well as the money that Cody had from the billboard that he finally sold, to move and to get her apartment. So how does she contribute to the overall move of the family? Okay, I keep stopping and I'm only on the first. It just like the lies. It's just lie after lie after lie. Okay. But now that we have a television show, we are essentially working together as a family on a daily basis, and we are a team financially. Okay, so the show is what did that. We split all of our money evenly and help each other out. Now that part is not fair. Maybe it was fair to split all the money evenly in terms of the show, but it's not fair to split all of the money evenly, period. This has unified us and evened out any sense of financial inferiority, or instability any of us may have had previously. We are all equal. Obviously, in addition to bringing a greater sense of financial equality between us, the show has been beneficial in allowing us to openly attend all of our children's school activities. The adults know that all the kids love to have any, if not all, of the parents at their recitals, performances, sporting events, and assemblies. If I could, I would go to every school event. Unfortunately, with so many children, this simply isn't possible. Each week, all of the moms and the kids let the family know about what school events are happening, and we try to figure out a way for the most parents to attend most events. When my son Dayton graduated from elementary school, I invited all the parents. To my surprise and delight, they all came. Christine got there first and texted the rest of us letting us know where the assembly was and that she was saving seats. So this isn't even Christine's child. But Christine arrived there before Robin, whose child was graduating, when normally the children have to arrive before the rest of the people arrive. But Christine is supposed to be someone who is not about her sister wives or the family. You see what I'm saying here? Christine got there first and texted the rest of us letting know where the assembly was and that she was saving seats. When we all sat down and Dayton saw us, he started waving. Sitting in the audience, I was overwhelmed with pride in both my son and family. One of the benefits of being in a plural family is that when I simply cannot attend one of my kids' events, I know that my sister wives and Cody will give my children support I would have if I had been there. Sadly, Cody and I had to be out of town when Dayton was in a school play. I wonder what they had to be out of town for. I knew how upset Dayton would be if no one from the family was there. He was so excited to be in the production. When I asked the other moms to support him, I was thrilled that Christine and Mary were able to go. Once again, there goes Christine stepping in, Mary as well, but Christine, the one that we hear was such a bad sister wife, there she goes stepping in again. Mary even filmed the performance so I could watch it later. Dayton was over the moon that his other moms were there, and I was so happy to be able to watch the play when I returned from my trip. Being part of the Brown family is exciting and surprising for the kids and me. I love that my kids have a ton of siblings around them all the time. The other kids are often at my house searching for food. You mean before you put the sign on the fridge that told them to ask, or after? This is a common habit of all the Brown kids looking for snacks in the other houses. I specifically save leftovers for such raids. I always try to have ice cream and popsicles in my freezer so the kids won't waste money on the ice cream truck. Even if there isn't ice cream, there's usually something worth foraging for in my cabinet since food has a tendency to last longer at my house. My girls and I don't eat a lot. I struggle to have an appetite, but Brianna and I are both hypoglycemic, which means we always need to have emergency snacks on hand so that if we experience a blood sugar crash, we can survive. Aside from our Friday night, not to say that that's not true. Brianna and her also are hypoglycemic, and then her and Aurora have anxiety, right? I just want to make sure I'm getting the children right. Okay, it's Aurora, it's not Brianna. Okay. Aside from our Friday night dinner and Sunday potluck, we don't get together as a family for meals, and we don't grocery shop together unless it's an impromptu event. We will coordinate our big family meals for holidays and birthdays by communicating who is responsible for bringing what. So all that talk about them spending so much time together, here's yet another person letting us know that they did not. Birthdays are usually hosted by the mother of the child whose birthday it is. That mom will cook what she or her child likes best. However, sometimes kids will request a dish from one of the other mother's repertoires. Last year, Janelle's son Gabe requested Mary's mashed potatoes and gravy for his birthday, and Mary was happy to provide them. I feel pretty special when kids request one of my recipes for their birthday meal. Did kids really request that? Because I remember Cody telling Robin that she needed to learn how to cook from Christine because she was talking about how picky of an eater he is, and he was basically like, no, you just need to get with Christine. She can show you what I like. Our kids spend as much time together as possible. The only rules I impose on this is that the visiting children can't interfere with my children's homework, nor can my kids go out until their homework or chores are complete. That sounds reasonable to me. Other than that, as long as I know where my children are planning to hang out and how they are getting there and back, I'm happy to have them be with their siblings whenever they want. The younger girls tend to congregate at my house. Cody calls the 5 younger girls, not including Truly, who's still a baby, the Pixies. So my house is sort of the Pixie house. The girls range from 6 to 10 years old, and they all play together often. They play dolls, house, do crafts, and anything that fits into their fantasies. They also love sleeping over at my house. I get bombarded every weekend for sleepovers, and I get complaints if at least one sleepover doesn't happen per week. The only time I will assert myself with the children who are not my own is when their parents aren't around. Without the other moms present, I'm comfortable correcting other children's behavior and enforcing my own rules. However, I tend not to do any child rearing with the other children, especially if the other moms aren't present. I don't feel like it's my place to interfere with how someone else raises their children. For this reason, I haven't had a lot of child rearing conflicts with my sister wives. When I'm usually comfortable with one of my sister wives helping to parent my child, when we're all together or at another mom's house, I try to make sure I'm the one who keeps my kids in line so another mom doesn't feel like she has to take charge. I feel like I'm slacking if I don't take care of things myself and attend my own children. Let me be clear. That's a very, very slick way of letting it be known that she doesn't want them to parent her kids. You're sitting here saying that you feel like you're slacking on your job if you don't discipline them. But she doesn't want them to rain down their punishment or correct them. She wants to do it herself. So I'm not saying that it's wrong, but just be honest about it. So I'm very aware of what my kids are doing when we are in another house. When I'm not there and my kids are visiting alone, I encourage the other moms to inform me if my kids are behaving in any way that I should correct. In other words, I don't want you to discipline my children. Let me do it. See, we got to see through the BS of Robin because Robin speaks Cody. So that means we got to read in the middle here, okay? Despite the fact that all of our parenting styles are different, each sister wife has the best interest of the kids at heart. I'm more prone to talking things out. I want to learn about the kids' feelings and try to understand why they are acting out in a certain way before punishing them for their behavior. I know that I am overprotective and overly gentle. I stand up for the underdog. For example, McKelty. Christine's second oldest daughter is a very unique girl. She doesn't fit in well with the other 3 older teen girls. She is creative and independent, so she gets razzed a lot. I have a tendency to stand up for her and see the best in her. She will do something great someday with her out of the box thinking. I don't tolerate bullying and harassing from any of the kids. Even minor teasing is off limits. I want all the children to be nice to one another always, which is why her children have grown up to be so timid because Robin has always had a hand in all the things that they do. For this reason, I prefer a calmer, more peaceful home environment. I try to bring a sense of respect to every family gathering and every situation in which I'm dealing with a group of kids. I expect the kids to be responsible and considerate, so I try to lead by example. I ran into a few issues with my position as a parent with some of the older kids when I first came into the family. I'm not surprised. I don't think they were ready to accept me as a mom. It was strange for them to all of a sudden have someone new parent them without history. We have had some issues with some of the kids because of this. I think every blended family deals with similar problems. I thought at first that my sister wives would just insist that their kids look at me as a mom, but I've realized that it is up to me to claim that role. I have actually had to reach out to the kids and build a relationship with them independent of their biological moms, which that is your job. If you're entering to a previously established family, it is your job to build a rapport with the children. It is not the children's job to build one with you or the mother's job to do that. You have to do the work too. Respect is earned, not demanded. My parental relationships are getting better and better with time, but it's still a work in progress. I think opening the lines of communication about our children is important to our growth as a family. We have a lot of kids who are all going through different stages in life. It's essential to stay on top of their development and difficulties. Since my children are the youngest of our brood, I haven't yet had to deal with the question of teen dating. That will happen too soon, I'm afraid. My son Dayton is hitting puberty and is almost as tall as me. However, I will happily give him my input as to what I think is appropriate so that we can set some family ground rules and our kids will all be on the same page as to what is allowed. I have life experiences that I can share with the kids to help them make informed decisions, and I don't mind doing so. Now, remember, her life experiences, her sitting there in their church setting and telling them that her purity was taken with all of her children sitting there, rather than telling the full truth that she gave it away. Yeah, I haven't forgotten that, Robin. Nevertheless, I feel that it is ultimately up to Cody and the other moms to enforce the rules for their specific children. My children are so blessed to have all these mommies and the best daddy ever. Even though they didn't call them mom, they called them by their name. Robin didn't waste time to have her children call Cody dad, but she never told them to call their mother's mom. I just feel like that's interesting. Like, she wanted to make sure that she X'd their biological father out. Cody is such a great father, even though he is stretched so thin. He makes time count. I know my kids have felt the lack of having a good daddy in their life. I remember long before I ever met Cody, my kids would ask when they were going to get their new dad. I think Dayton especially has benefited so much from having a guy around. Y'all remember in the beginning when they used to go see their parents when the kids were excited to go see their dad? And here she's telling us that they wanted a dad, like they didn't have one. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about with Robin. Cody is so patient with him and loves to spend time letting him rattle on about his latest fascination. My girls, Aurora and Brianna, adore Cody as well. Daddy kisses and hugs are welcomed and wanted. He is so cute with them. It makes me love him that much more. It really is true that the way to a divorced mom's heart is through her kids. He treated her kids better than his own. So sad. I'm sure sometimes the kids get sick of having so many adults commenting on their lives, but mostly the kids adore having 5 adults who love them, not to mention a lot of brothers and sisters who do as well. Our children are never alone, and this gives them a strong identity and permanent sense of place. These kids will never lack in support and love. Of course, being part of such a large family is as demanding of them as it is of the adults. The most difficult thing for our children is that they never get to be selfish and cannot put their individual needs in front of their siblings. I know my kids have had to adjust to sharing with more brothers and sisters. My girls now have several other sisters to incorporate in their play, whether they like it or not. Recently, one of the other Pixies needed a chapter book to read, and my daughter Aurora has several. I asked her to share with her sister. Aurora struggled at first with lending out her book, so I had to point out that we are family and that we share and we help each other out. The family is always a team. It can be a challenge to them to always remember that. Then again, it can be a challenge for the adults as well, but we are getting there. That's it. That's all Robin had to say, which really, she's right. What do you have to add when at this point you're just coming into the family? What I will say is Robin always lies. It's very evident that everything with Robin is a lie, because even you have a way of saying things so that it seems like it's something it's not. Oh, maybe if I put it this way and say that, they had a say so about this, then they'll feel like I'm saying that. Like if I say that I'll tell the moms to let me know if my kids did anything wrong. Maybe the readers won't realize that I'm saying I don't want the moms to do anything when it comes to my kids. Because that's what it is. Y'all let me know your thoughts and opinions about Robin's chapter. My plan wasn't to release this until Saturday, but given how short it is, I may piggyback it off of the other one. I don't know. We'll see. Until next time.